Hello and welcome into another edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks, and I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI, and I am so grateful to be joining you on this Tuesday morning. We are now roughly 8 hours away from Arizona State men's basketball taking on the Oklahoma State Cowboys from Desert Financial Arena in Tempe, and that will be a great battle. Oklahoma State is considered firmly on the tournament bubble right now, so Arizona State both has a chance to both really shake up Oklahoma State's season in a bad way and also to boost their own season. Uh, we've been saying this for a while that the wins that they've been securing have lent opportunities to revive their season. They have yet to follow up a win with another win. They have not earned consecutive victories since December. We'll see if that streak can be broken at any point during this regular season. 7 games remain for Arizona State, so time is running out. The clock is ticking. Bobby Hurley only has a limited amount of stops left to deploy, and we'll see how it goes. Building off of that point, though, in today's show, I really wanted to discuss the three players that Arizona State really needs to work hard to retain for the 2026-2027 season, regardless of who's head coach, regardless of the coaching staff, regardless of the players that depart. These are three foundational pieces that Arizona State needs to put out all stops towards keeping around for another season. The first player that I really wanted to discuss is none other than freshman center Masamba Diop. Diop has had built up quite the career so far, uh, as a dynamic 7 foot center that has played professionally in Spain. Uh, Obviously, this is his first year of collegiate eligibility, and he's considered a freshman. And a lot of people see an NBA future for the skilled big man. I don't think he's going to go to the 2026 NBA draft, but I do think it's possible that other programs look at Job and potential, even if it's just one season of getting Job, that would be worth it for a program. So I think Arizona State absolutely needs to throw out all stops in the way to keep uh the native of Senegal in Tempe for at least another season. I mean, what's not to like about his game? I mean, the one thing that you could look at and say that's in need of improvement is the rebounding. Even then, he's put together some really, really strong rebounding performances as of late. And I think he's one of the last players that you can point to and say, man, this guy is just not performing up to standards right now. Uh, I think that you absolutely need to retain Masamba for next season. Uh, I think that every player that has remaining eligibility has to be an emphasis to retain, including just mentioning these players, a Bryce Ford, potentially a Trevor Best, a Santiago Truitt. But these are two players I'm about to mention, I think, are just a tick above in terms of who they should emphasize retaining. I think that the Sun Devils need to really take a long look at keeping Noah Mayusin in Tempe for at least one more season, if not more, because he has, I believe after this season, he'll have 2 more years of eligibility left. I think the Belgium native is considered a sophomore. Um, Mayusin has been a little spotty this season from a game to game basis. It hasn't always been a linear. rise for the 20-year-old, but he has played in 21 games, so he has been pretty regularly available. He shoots 36% from three-point range. He shoots 87% from the free throw line, pitches in 2.9 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 1.4 steals per game. Uh, I mean, in Big 12 play, he's put up 4 games in double figures scoring wise. Um, there's a lot to like about his game. I mean, in the Arizona game on January 31st, he shot 3 for 6 from three-point range. He shot 4 for 5 from three-point range in the game in Tucson about a month ago. There's absolutely a lot to like about Mayuson's game, and I think that helps his case that he's 6'5". He's a really big guard, and he is more of a combo guard. He can play the one because he has strong court vision. He has the ability to handle the ball in a vacuum. He can defend the one and the two, sometimes the three in a small ball lineup, as we've seen Bobby Hurley employ sometimes. And I just think his versatility and his skill set are areas that Arizona State will likely need to be champion next season, especially since Mo Odom will not be back, unfortunately. And Mayusin is at the forefront of that. And then lastly, I think that Andrea Gerbovic is a player that absolutely needs to be at the front of mind when discussing a potential player that needs to be retained in Tempe for at least another season. The native of Montenegro has been a reliable floor spacer. I think that most people recognize that a lot of his value this season has been in floor spacing as he shoots 37% from three-point range on nearly 4 attempts per game. So he's reliable for at least 1 3 game on average. And that's with shooting 42% from the floor as a whole as a 6'11 forward. Um, I'm pretty sure he's categorized as a junior, so he'll only have 1 year of eligibility left. But I think that his sharpshooting, his presence and help defense, and his timely shot making are much needed, especially if next year is going to be a retooling season under a new head coach. We've seen what Gerbovic can bring to the table in several games. He had an 11-point performance against Oklahoma. He had an efficient 13-point performance against Santa Clara. He was one of the only Arizona State players that showed up to the BYU and Houston losses. He's knocked down a three-pointer in every single Big 12 game that he's appeared in outside of the home game against Arizona and Kansas State. So he's pretty consistent. He's pretty reliable. He has a nice shooting touch. He doesn't ever try to do too much within the context of the Arizona State offense. And I think it would be wise for whoever's coaching Arizona State next season, whether it's Bobby Hurley or someone else, to really try hard to retain his services. Now, that's really all I have for today. Until then, stay tuned with Arizona State on SI for all of your men's basketball coverage, as well as football when spring practice is set to begin roughly a month or a month and a half from now. Women's basketball is in their stretch run, searching to make the NCAA tournament and so much more from Arizona State on SI. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Sun Devils Insider podcast, and I will see you with another episode tomorrow. Thank you so much.